got that audio strolling.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy. I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
Jeezy said something along the lines of, we're like small-time famous. And I said, no, we're not.
So people have definitely heard a weird person talking about us.
Maybe someday we'll be able to turn this into revenue.
That's not the goal for me.
That's not.
I've got goals. I've got goals for the podcast. Interview Aaron Rodgers.
Ooh, okay, come on. That would be awesome.
Interview Aaron Rodgers.
But we're like
Stepping Stone, maybe?
He goes on the Dan
Interview Jordy Nelson.
Okay, well, okay, he's got more available time, I think.
Maybe stepping stone to that.
Interview a Packer.
Interview any Packer ever.
I mean, that's not unreasonable. That's actually not an unreasonable goal.
That's a goal of mine. See, I've got some goals.
Is that a SMART goal?
What do you mean?
SMART?
I don't know how to read letters.
What's the fucking attainable, measurable, timely?
Sexual.
This is taking a turn. Like, but now the key part of making this goal was the time frame. We did make a timely time frame for it.
Depends on how that social media grows.
That's true. So, if anybody listening doesn't mind, if you'd like to go and perhaps invite all of your friends to like and share our page and subscribe to us on SoundCloud and Twitter and all these other things that we mention on our Facebook page at the end of every episode. If you don't mind, listeners, if you could feel free to go out and share the cheesy word, that'd be great.
If you do all of that, we can possibly guarantee that Aaron Rodgers will be interviewed on our show.
In my professional engineering opinion, I can say that's true. We will get Aaron Rodgers on the show. Okay, let's get into the last week of football. Week 3 in the NFL. G's going to give us a rundown on the scores here. Go ahead.
Here we go. Thursday night, we had the Titans-Jaguars, 7-20. Jaguars take that one. Running through Sunday, Dolphins 6, Cowboys whoop that ass with 31.
Ass whooping.
Bengals 17, Bills 21. Lions sneak out a win over the Eagles 27-24. Patriots beat the Jets 30-14. Colts beat the Falcons 27-24. Vikings over the Raiders 34-14. Chiefs over the Ravens in a really awesome game 33-28. Hometown team, the Pack 27-16 over the Broncos.
Yeah.
Another ass whooping in your neck of the woods. Panthers 38 over the Cardinals 20.
I don't know if it was an ass whooping, but all right.
Okay, it's not an ass whooping. Maybe a gentle spanking.
Say it's a spanking for sure.
Big news, New York Giants win 32-31 over the Buccaneers. Saints over Seahawks 33-27. Texans 27 over Chargers 20. Steelers lose to the 49ers 20-24. Rams beat the Browns 20-13. And the Bears made the Redskins a laughingstock 31-15.
Whoop that ass. Now, the interesting thing about this week is there's a lot of replacement and backup quarterbacks winning games.
I know.
Teddy Bridgewater, for the Saints.
But you know what? You know what happened? I like it when I'm right about something. And you know what happened in that game?
He looked like he got back up to speed, hit his stride, playing well.
And also the defense, they weren't great. They did give up 27 points. But they made some big plays and gave the offense a chance. They gave the offense actually a lot of chances.
Sure. Daniel Jones winning one for the Giants.
That was unexpected. That was a big comeback, win by 1.
How about he played last week, but how about Gardner Minshew for the Jags?
He is like, I look at that kid and I'm like, is that Uncle Rico actually
Uncle
Rico?
Have you been following like the Facebook memes or like just the memes in general about him? He is like the true Florida man. He tried to break his own hand to stay playing in college. He played a half of one game, and that would have ruined his, counted as a year of eligibility unless he got hurt. So he took a hammer to his own hand to redshirt that season, sit out injured so he could play the next year. Like, that dude is fucking crazy.
He is crazy. And I saw his dad His dad is like this big,
jacked,
barrel-chested dude.
Back in my neck of the woods, you've got Kyle Allen winning a game for the Panthers because Cam is hurt and whatever else.
Cam's hurt?
Yeah. Something about his ankle and his shoulder still bothers him, and he couldn't find enough clothes from the Goodwill. But I'm not so my original point here. A lot of backup and rookie and second string quarterbacks winning games here, and I'm not sure if Jacoby Brissett again over the Colts. So I'm wondering if all the players that we know are getting old, starting to phase out and retire. Maybe it's just that the old school is finally succumbing to the new school.
A lot of these teams, including the Packers, have gotten a lot younger, and as we've seen, that by doing that, they got a lot better.
I mean, yeah, I want to say on the Packers, outside of 5 or 6 players, everybody else is less than 5 years experience in the league. No one's got 10 years other than Rodgers and Mason Crosby.
I just want to talk. I heard this quote, and I want to get your reaction. This is from an NFL.com article. It's just a general written by the staff.
I know. I'm familiar with the article.
Here's the quote from the Giants-Tampa Bay Buccaneers game. Another one of these replacement players. Quote, "The Daniel Jones era is underway in New York, 1-2, and thank goodness for that. Making his first start in place of Giants legend Eli Manning, Jones quickly made people forget about the lead-footed veteran. The QB, known in the streets as Danny Dimes, flashed mobility in and out of the pocket, touch and accuracy outside the hashes, and overall resilience during his comeback win over Tampa Bay." Reaction?
The same as I am with any of these young quarterbacks coming in and wooing people. It's one game. It's a long season. Let's temper our expectations a little bit here. Let's look at it with a level head, just a little bit.
I mean, there is something to be said here, right? Daniel Jones comes in and wins one game over the Buccaneers.
Exactly.
This is not. I mean, look, you keep trying to talk down Patrick Mahomes. We'll get to that. Okay, we'll come back to that.
No. I wasn't going to say Patrick Mahomes. I was going to say let's also see how he looks with Saquon Barkley being injured and being out for an extended period of time.
Yeah, I heard he got the high ankle sprain. That's big news.
So let's see how Daniel Jones does with essentially no running game.
I mean, who's their backup there? Do we know?
Eli Manning.
Running back.
Oh.
Fucking Eli Manning. Thanks for nothing. I just want to put it out there. I was at the bar on Sunday, and there was an Oakland Raiders watch party at this bar. I didn't know that. And I walked in. It was in the third quarter. It was just after halftime. And that was the saddest watch party I think I've ever seen. But it was so ridiculous because they were just bumping loud like club music at the same loudness that they were playing the game too. And then everybody was just seated looking sad. Super duper sad.
It's too much. I remember in college, going to college in Madison, Wisconsin, go Badgers, also undefeated. Whooped up on that Michigan ass this weekend.
Oh yeah.
Whooped that ass. It was great. I remember going out to the bar, and as soon as 9:00 hit, it went from your standard rock playlist, fucking Def Leppard, 9:00, 0 seconds.
Had to. You had to. But I want to talk about the New Orleans Saints over the Seattle Seahawks, 33-27. Here's a quote from that same article. Quote, "The Saints, 2-1, aren't done. Playing just their 4th game since 2006 without Drew Brees, they marched into Seattle and showed why they're still an NFC contender. New Orleans led by as many as 20 and by double digits until the final play, in part because of a pair of return touchdowns in the first half."
I'm not surprised by this, not whatsoever. I knew this was gonna be. I knew they were gonna be fine. Teddy Bridgewater is perfectly serviceable. Like I said, did you see his post game? Like they gave him the game ball. Did you see his like emotional speech he gave? He was like holding back tears, like love you guys so much, cherish these moments that we get to do this for a living and all that stuff. And I mean, it was the first game he's won as a starter since 2015 when he got that gruesome injury.
I guess I should have mentioned this. The special teams also did step up. A name that I heard a lot all weekend. Probably going to hear more if he's as talented as he seems to be made out to be. Deontay Harris starts the game by running back a touchdown on a punt. Basically spots New Orleans a 7-point lead off the jump.
Yeah, you gotta be good at all three phases.
And then in the second quarter, Von Bell scooped up a fumble, took it back 33 yards for another score. So, I mean, 33 points, obviously the offense did something there, but 2 touchdowns, one by the D, one by the special teams.
Listen, I think the Saints are going to be doing just fine. I think they're going to remain in playoff contention. They're not going to be heavy favorites anymore, but they're going to be in playoff contention. They're going to be just fine.
Did you see Did you see the social media post Drew Brees did with his big cast on? It's like, this is as close as I can get to a thumbs up, and it's his cast. It's just his arm up.
I did not see that.
It's pretty funny.
I'm loving it. I'm loving it. The outcome of this week puts the Van and Jeezy competition at Van 17-8-1, Jeezy 25-1.
That's because I'm the best.
It's hard to argue with that statement with these numbers I have in front of me.
It's generally hard to argue with that statement. I am actually the best. I mean, I don't want to brag or anything. That didn't sound like bragging, did it?
No, that was confidence.
Okay, so without any further ado, I want to prep all of our listeners for a very special guest. We'll be bringing him in just a moment for an interview about the Chiefs-Ravens game. All right, Tejon, we're super excited to have you on the show. This is awesome. So I completely went off script here. Tejon, what are your Baltimore Raven fan credentials? What makes you a Baltimore Raven fan? How long you been one? That's what we need to know first. I completely went off script, but that's what we need to know.
I mean, we don't have a script. There's no script. What are you talking about?
Shh! Don't tell the secrets.
Yikes. I mean, man, I'm born in Baltimore. I really haven't been anywhere else. That's all I know. Yeah, I grew up watching the Ravens. The Ravens were actually a team the year I was born, so they became a team the year I was born, wow. 96.
Damn! 96? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Shit. Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
You're making Van feel like a grandpa.
If you ask me, like, my birth is the start of a new era. Like, yeah, those are my creds right there.
Tejon was born and brings in a new faith in football.
Also, exactly. The Packers won the Super Bowl in 96 season, so there's that.
Good year.
There it is. It's all a good year. Maybe football's the greatest year. We may never know.
Good year.
What I have to know is, what is your reaction to the Baltimore versus Kansas City game?
I mean, so
that's a broad ass statement to start with. That's like, yeah, you couldn't hone it in at all. Just
yeah. I mean, it's all good. It's like you get mixed feelings about it because one, all right, it's Kansas City, so it's like, okay, a lot of teams are gonna get lit up and get, I mean, to be quite honest, shit on by Kansas City, and then on the other end. Like, I honestly think that we're a better team. Like, we match up really, really well with Kansas City. Like, I'm more afraid to play Tom Brady in New England than I would be to play Kansas City. Like, if we played them in the playoffs, I'm okay with that matchup. Like, I feel confident that we can get that W as opposed to us playing Tom Brady just because he's just Tom Brady. I mean, you got to respect him. I mean, I hate him. I hate his fucking guts. But, yeah, I mean...
All you gotta do is just stop that check down. You can if you knock out that check down route, you're fine. You got Tom Brady bottled up.
Check down.
You know what? I think the same thing, but then it's like he he just finds ways to win the game, like, and they always get like either a bogus call, a miraculous catch. It's always. I remember one year we played them in the AFC Championship. We were beating them by like 14 or 17. They hit us with like a halfback pass or a wide receiver pass for a touchdown. So like they just pull out just a bunch of stuff in their arsenal.
I mean, the biggest tool in their toolbox is cheating.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So
for sure, I know they pay off the refs, but it's fine.
So I got a quote here. This is a quote from CBS Sports article by Jared Dubin. He says, "Why the Chiefs won? Reason number one: Patrick Mahomes, the reigning MVP, went 27 for 37, 374 yards, 3 touchdowns, and made several completely ridiculous throws." Is that what you saw?
Yeah, I mean, that's what it is. I'm not even gonna lie. Bro, he's he's just different. Pat Mahomes is just different. Like, he makes throws that, like, I was telling somebody the other day, like, he had a throw to like the sideline at the in the end zone. I swore he was throwing the ball away. Somehow the dude like comes down with the one hand grab. I'm like, oh fuck. I really thought we were about to get the ball back and it was gonna be all good, and ends up being a touchdown. I'm like, damn. But I think Pat Mahomes. I think the reason they won the game is really because of us. I think we kind of gave it to them. I think we didn't necessarily stick to the script like we were supposed to, as opposed to them doing what they were going to do. I mean, Kansas City is going to put up points. They're gonna beat Kansas City for the most part. So with that being said, you have to kind of take into account that they're going to put up 30 points, and that's a low end. That's on the low end of them. Like, that's a slow day for them. So. Yeah, I think we left a lot of points on the board. I think we made a lot of mental mistakes that you can't make with a good team that can put up 30 points on you. That's kind of my take from it. I think, like, if you watch the game, we had like a big 40-yard run return. We had a pick that got overturned.
Yeah, that was huge. That pick that got overturned was huge.
Yeah, and that was so whack too, might I add, that interception that got overturned. The dude literally turned around, and while he was turning around, like, barely nudges the guy that's next to the person who's catching the pick. Mind you, the ball wasn't even thrown to that receiver, and they called it. I was like, bro, this is ridiculous.
Oh man. Okay, so here's another quote from the same article. This says why the Ravens lost, and I'm just going to read you one sentence from here. Mark Ingram didn't have enough help. I watched that game. Mark Ingram played his ass off that game. That dude.
Yeah, he went crazy. He
went crazy. They start the second half by basically handing him the ball until he gets to the end zone.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, well, Kansas City is really good at making you play catch up. And if you try to play catch up or like try to get into a shootout with them, I mean, more than likely you're going to lose that shootout. And so. Yeah, I think we should have just gave Mark Ingram the ball 50 times if we had to. Lamar Jackson, I'm coming around to him. I like what he's progressing as a passer, but there should be no reason for him to pass the ball 45 times in one game. We don't need that. Like, we don't need it. He's not Tom Brady. He's not Pat Mahomes. He needs to be read option, play action pass, down the field, read option, play action pass, read option, dump off, play action pass, deep down the field. We had a couple good ones to Marquise Brown. And we had a couple that he missed, too. So I think we should have just ran the ball more. And I don't get that. I don't get why we didn't, per se, because we weren't necessarily out of the game for the majority of the game. And we were getting stops. We just deviated from the plan. I mean, but, yeah, Mark Ingram, he did his thing. He definitely
How old is he now?
Mark Ingram,
That's a good question.
He's been doing this shit for at least, 7 years.
He was the Heisman Trophy winner in 2009.
09?
Oh, yeah, he's at least 30. He's at least 30.
Damn.
Let's see what it is.
Damn, he's old as shit.
That's what I'm saying.
I was about to say Alabama has produced some really good running backs, but they really haven't at the same time.
You know who has produced a lot of good running backs? Go Badgers.
Wisconsin has put out some good running backs. Y'all have what? Gordon?
We had Melvin Gordon, James White, Corey Clement played a little bit. He scored a touchdown in the Super Bowl for the Eagles. We had Monty Ball. He played for the Broncos
Ronnie
for a
Ball
bit.
was a dog in college.
And now we got
Dog.
Jonathan Taylor. He's gonna be good. But so not NFL topic at all. But is Wisconsin now running back university? It may be.
No.
That was decisive.
No. I'm gonna go. If I had to pick running back university, I'm gonna probably go with Georgia.
Yeah, that's reason. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
Probably go with Georgia
Wisconsin is most certainly offensive line university.
for sure. Y'all in like Iowa or something.
No, fuck Iowa.
All the good tight ends and linemen come from Iowa and that Midwestern
Just
area.
A big ass white dudes.
Basically.
That's all it is.
Let me ask you can I ask you a different question? I want to ask you a hypothetical about this game.
Okay.
How much do you think playing on the road affected this game?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we do play really well at home too, though. So maybe if we were at home, we might have got the dub. I don't know. I do not know. I feel like the weather helped us out a little bit. It was raining a little bit, so we got to run the ball. They struggled a little bit passing the ball. So we'll see how they do later on in the season. But I don't know. I don't know how much them playing at home affects the game. From what I hear, playing at that stadium is really tough, though. It's a tough environment to be in. But I don't know. For me, playing in another stadium or another gym, whatever the case may be, it didn't really affect me. So I don't know how other guys feel about it.
You guys are always sneaky good at home too. Like,
and that stadium
yeah.
And like, you guys are always a sneaky wild card team. Like throughout like the entire year, you're like, oh yeah, they're gonna go like 9-7 for sure. And then you sneak your way into the wild card. You win like a game or two. Sneaky team.
Yeah, that's how we do. I think we're gonna win the division again this year. I think for the most part. I mean, we have the Browns coming up. Hopefully, we can smack them something crazy because that will put us in a really good spot. That will put us in a good spot. I think Cincy's 0-3, Pittsburgh is 0-3, Cleveland's 1-2. So we put Cleveland at 1-3, and we'd be sitting at 3-1. It's not a bad spot to be in for the division, I'd say.
You feel confident about the win over the Browns?
Yeah, their line's ass. Baker Mayfield's been playing like ass.
Yeah, a lot of booty over there.
Yeah, I think if we can just get pressure on him, he's scared. He's playing scared. Like
yeah, he is.
He's been running for his life.
Too much
in
hype.
Cleveland right now. On paper, they look so tough. I'm not gonna lie. I was looking at their roster like shit.
I mean, it was so much hype, and now they're just filling the dipe. They went from hype to dipe overnight.
That's excellent. Can we make that is that a hashtag? Like hashtag hype to dipe?
Maybe. I mean, you can't. It's the Browns.
Like, during the offseason, after all those acquisitions and trades got made, I was like, all right, the Browns taking the AFC North easy. And I was like, AFC Championship game? Probably.
Sheesh.
Now I look like the asshole.
You are the asshole.
You aren't the only one. It's a couple, but it's cool. You went against the flock, but it's all good. It's all good.
The flock.
So how do y'all feel about OBJ rocking the 2 million Richard Millie?
I put this shit in our notes for this week to talk about it, but you're skipping ahead. I like that. It's relevant. I saw it was a $2 million watch, but I also heard it was a fake.
Who said it was a fake?
Word.
Your source is brobible.com.
Don't worry about my sources.
Bro Bible.
It's credible.
I was going to tell you about Odell's Richard Mill.
Apparently, I also heard that he's got a partner with Daniel Wellington watches now. They have a partnership.
I figured he was trying to push for the Richard Mill endorsement. I went on their website just to see what it was looking like, and it looks like they have a lot of athletes under their contract or under their wing or whatever. So I figured he was definitely somebody that they could use or promote off of. It makes sense to me.
I can't imagine wearing a $2 million watch. on the field. I would worry about it getting broken. Also, I don't have $2 million.
I don't think he bought it though. If he has a partnership with them, I highly doubt he bought it.
This person, let's see here, says that the RM5602, which is the model of watch he was wearing, takes 960 hours to make it.
What?
I'm sorry, just for the case, there's 1,500 hours of sapphire machining in the watch itself.
What?
But some of these people who have zoomed in on it say that it's plastic. Like the gears inside of it are plastic. It's a $20 Miyota made in China is what these people say. So
is that still Bro Bible?
The quote is, it's like comparing a Bugatti to a wheelbarrow.
Says who?
Okay.
Says Bro Bible, damn it.
I couldn't see Odell rocking the fake Richard Mille though.
I have to agree. OBJ is known for a lot.
He's gonna get clowned forever rocking a fake watch.
I have to agree. OBJ is known for a lot of things, but rocking bootleg watches is not one of them.
But that makes sense though, because who's paying $2 million for a plastic watch?
Apparently, OBJ is.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna switch topics here. I want to get your. We got a text from our cheese line. I want to get a hot take from you, Tejon. One of our listeners, Matt, said, "Shouldn't the Colts or the Jets pick up Eli? What do you think? Is there a place in this league for Eli Manning?"
Dude, fuck no. For what?
That is the best response possible.
That is the best answer I've heard.
Is this person a Colts or a Jets fan? Do you want the same thing that happened to the Giants to happen to you for 4 years? What Jacoby Brissett right now is better than Eli Manning.
Yeah, I have to
agree. Sam Darnold is probably better than Eli Manning right now with mono.
Even with mono.
Damn.
With mono, I'm still taking Sam Darnold. Hell no. What? No, absolutely not. Eli Manning probably should have been out of the league like 3 years ago when he could have bowed out gracefully as a okay quarterback that just his time was up.
That's true.
Like that's what's going to happen with Drew Brees, unfortunately.
You think
he's
so?
He's going to be a really good quarterback that doesn't win it, and he bowed out gracefully.
Oh, that he is going to bow out gracefully.
Yeah. Phillip Rivers too. Phillip Rivers is never going to win shit.
I don't know if you ever my biggest thing about Eli Manning is that it always looks like his helmet is too big for his head.
Yeah.
It looks like he was the last kid in line at Pee Wee football, and he was like, "I need a medium helmet," and they were like, "All we have is like 3 extra large," and he goes, "Okay." He's got his big fucking hat.
Hey Tia, do you have time for one more topic?
Yeah.
Okay, we've got one here. I've got one here. I want to hit the Dax Nuggets on the agenda. So you know that the Cowboys played the garbage Miami Dolphins this week and put a straight up ass whooping on them.
As everyone has, but yeah.
And during the game, Dak Prescott starts talking about how he's going to get Wendys spicy chicken nuggets after the game.
Here, let me just play it for you.
Skip the flank right stack, 32 Sam, alert X foot. Oh, spicy nuggets are back. I might have to stop on the way home.
That's fucking funny.
What do you? I mean,
is that mid game?
Yeah,
that's mid game.
It's in the huddle.
That's how bad the Dolphins are. He's like, I don't fucking care. The Dolphins are so bad. I want Wendys.
I think, and it's crazy because I think they know, like, damn, we are some shit. Like, like we don't have a chance at winning a game. Like, I mean, yeah, they're really bad.
I just want to.
Really bad.
Wendys mentions the clip and says perfect play calling in action.
I saw someone else said get number 4 a 4 for 4.
He's about to get a sponsorship. Watch, he's about to start endorsing Wendys. Put money on it. He's about to have a Wendys endorsement. That's tough.
That would be tight.
Tough.
It's tough getting endorsements. We've been trying to get Denny's to sponsor us for what, 9 months now.
That is true. We have been shouting out Denny's on our Cheesy podcast for months and months. Nobody showed up yet.
Is Denny's y'all spot? That's like the spot to be at. Denny's.
We've taken an evening and had a long like had a cigar at Wendy's.
Back when you
I'm
could
sorry,
still smoke
had a
at
cigar
Denny's.
at Denny's when you could still smoke inside.
You could smoke in a Denny's?
Yeah.
You
Oh
can
my
smoke in
God,
any.
we're
You
so
can smoke in
old.
any restaurant.
We're so old.
Do you know what the
Like
smoking
on the
and
inside?
non-smoking section?
Yeah, we
Yes.
smoked cigars at a Denny's one day.
Yeah. Back in my day,
Oh my God.
we had this thing in a restaurant called the smoking section and the non-smoking section. That was it. There was just you smokers sit over here, you people sit over here, and the people who are unfortunately placed in the middle, you get to deal with both.
Yo, no. All right. So there's a Denny's right by my house. I'm gonna see. I'm gonna go in there and see if they have that.
I would doubt it now because I think it's pretty universal that they got rid of smoking everywhere. But we would have probably been it would have been almost 10 years ago.
That
might have been 10 years ago.
It was probably exactly 10 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I remember.
That's crazy. Denny's actually does have some really good skillets, though. I will say.
Fucking, I know. I
Their
know.
skillets
You know what?
are pretty fucking good.
We smoked those cigars there, and then the waitress asked if she could have the cigar boxes so she could store weed in them. The Denny's waitress was just like, "I have that. I need to store weed." I was like, okay,
Of course, we said, yeah, fine, you can have it. Because our asses sat down with cigars and ordered a soda each. Hi, yes, one Coke for each of us. We're gonna sit here for about 4 to 6 hours, and we fucking did.
I can't go back to high school.
What did you tip her?
I think we gave like $20 each.
I think we gave her $20 total, not $20 each.
Oh well, $20 total.
Y'all
Fine.
gave her $20 for y'all sodas that she brought out.
Yeah, but she refilled them like 5 times.
We took up that space for a long time. Now they weren't like busy, but we did sit. We sat there for a while.
You guys are better than me. Let me tell you. Let me tell you right now. I'm not tipping her $10, $15, $20. I don't care.
Yeah.
She can get a cool $5 though.
Get that cool $5. Don't spend it all in one place.
Don't spend it all over the place.
I mean, you can get the 4 for $4 with change back.
Exactly. You see what I'm saying? You see what I can get for $20?
You can get.
I could have got two skillets from Denny's for $20.
Oh man. Well, hey, we really appreciate you being on the call. We'll get you a link to the episode once it's ready.
All right, of course.
Yeah, thanks so
Really-
much for coming on, man. It's
Yeah, I
awesome.
really appreciate it.
Appreciate y'all for having me.
Thanks so much, man.
All right.
And now I'm cheesing my way back to you, Van, with a burning cheese inside. It's the Packers section.
Packers, yeah, we beat the Broncos.
No surprise.
What was it? I forget the score.
Ass whooping. Not actually.
Okay, not ass whooping. They scored 16, I think.
It was 16-27.
Going over my notes here, my during the game notes. Number 1, Rodgers still king of the free play. Which free play, like they've been cutting those short. Like when the defense jumps off sides, and the offense is still allowed to play it out. They've been cutting, like stopping those, blowing those dead. And like the first time in a while they haven't blown one dead. Rodgers bombs it.
Touchdown.
Philip Lindsay is the Broncos' only guy.
But he seems so cool.
He's the only undrafted running back to make the Pro Bowl. I have bad on third down again. Yeah. Takeaways! Exclamation point! Because we are currently leading the league in takeaways on defense.
We are kicking that ass.
Now I have some sad things here.
Sad things?
Rodgers game managing ?
That's a perfect segue. We got another hit. Dirty Dan hit us on the cheese line, and he said, post-game interview, Rodgers said the offense is improving. Are they actually improving, or is the defense just giving them great field position? What's your take?
I think it's hard to say, man. If on paper the offense is not improving.
Yeah, it is tough. I mean,
the biggest problem is not converting on third down.
And it seems weird because I feel like we have shorter, more manageable third downs this season, and we're still not converting them.
Yes. And I think part of that might be, and I wrote this again in our notes, Jamal Williams is outrunning Aaron Jones right now.
Is he?
And it seems like we keep feeding Aaron Jones on those third and short, downs. I think Jamal Williams is running better than Aaron Jones is right now.
I'm looking up the stats here. Aaron Jones this season has 174 yards on 46 attempts. That's a 3.8 average.
And then
Jamal Williams has 87 yards on 26 carries for 3.3 yards.
really, it feels way different than that.
That's what it says.
Well, regardless, not getting off, not being able to convert thirds downs, we weren't really able to sustain any good offensive drives until like the fourth quarter, which means the defense isn't getting a break. So they're playing tired, which is surprisingly like they're playing very well for playing tired. I didn't think the offense improved as much from week 2 to 3 as it did from 1 to 2.
Yeah.
That first quarter of scripted plays looked okay. Not as good as we did against the Vikings, but Roger said that the offense needs to wake up and make some plays. So that's basically it. That's it in a nutshell.
There's some weirdness. I want to talk about MVS for just a second. He seems like he's so much better, but then he does little stupid shit that makes me really nuts. Like, there's a scramble play where he's at the first down marker on third down. Rodgers scrambles outside the pocket and hits him right in the gut, and he can't hold on. For like a little tiny pass.
I still think as a whole he's playing better than Geronimo Allison.
That's
Geronimo
true.
Allison got fucking frying pans for hands this year.
Yeah, he's struggling to get back to having hands for just catching the ball. You brought it up last week. I'm still curious to see if Des Bryant really comes knocking and if Green Bay is going to be a real potential suitor to him.
They'd be all right. I mean,
Curious.
I'm curious to see when the fuck we're going to throw Jimmy Graham a ball. Or Mercedes Lewis. I think we
He
threw
has a
Mercedes
couple.
Lewis. He had one catch in the game, but we're not all these. And Rodgers tried to throw to Robert Tonyan, like our third string tight end.
Yeah.
We tried throwing to him a couple of times during the game, but like it seemed like he was targeted more than the other two combined. It's like we have good tight ends. Why are we not throwing the ball to them?
I don't know. It's a good
I don't
question.
get it.
I've wondered
And
the same.
Devontae Adams was only targeted like 4 times in that game too.
And he was open every time.
Yeah, I just don't understand. I don't know if it's play calling or Rodgers making decisions or the defense. Yeah, we don't get to see all those things. But I'm wondering why, like all of our guys, our star guys, the guys that were saying, hey, this is why the offense is going to be good. Why we're not using them?
Yeah. To wrap up Dirty Dan's question here is the offense, are they improving? I think they're getting more reps. I think they're getting more comfortable. Is it translating into a better performance? It's better than week 1.
Marginally better than week 2.
And we got a way to go still. So that's that. But on the defensive side,
Oh my word! On the defensive side, Brian Gutekunst is a fucking wizard picking up the Smiths.
so good.
How many times did I text you that? I didn't text you because you watched late, but I was texting John Blondie, and I texted him a million times. The Smiths are so good. How many times I got in the notes? Za'Darius Smith is a beast. Preston Smith, so good. Preston Smith wins the NFC Defensive Player of the Week award this week. It's the first time he's ever won any kind of NFL award.
Wow.
And 3 sacks. I think he had a forced fumble, couple of quarterback hits.
I got to say Za'Darius is probably my favorite of the two.
I agree.
He kind of reminds me, just in demeanor and the way he affects the game, and also kind of how he seemingly really enjoys playing it, of like when we had Julius Peppers playing. Because Julius Peppers would go in there, big, very athletic guy, always interrupting plays, and then you always see him with a big smile kind of walking back to the line.
I will say I think he's a little bit more animated than Julius Peppers was, because Za'Darius Smith got a sack, I think, during the game, and he did the feed me thing, right? Like the Zeke feed me thing.
Yeah.
And then he was like, ugh, like grabbing his belly like he was too full.
Yeah.
They're absolute beasts. And, to complement that, I thought to myself during the game, I was like, where the fuck has Rashawn Gary been? And they put him in because, one of the Smiths had to take a break or whatever. And on that play, I went, there he is. And on that play, he recorded his first NFL sack.
I saw it. I was very proud. I was very happy to see it. Because I had been reading coming up to that week that, Gary is just about to break through. He's just about to be a big impact player. And then I finally saw him get a sack.
I've been reading that he's near the ball a lot. Like he had a handful of tackles and he's near the ball a lot. Like he's disrupting plays. I haven't seen it or noticed it. I have to keep my eye out for it this week. But speaking of first, I believe Darnell Savage, got his first NFL interception, which was a crazy fucking pick. Did you see that?
Yes, I did.
His hands, okay, he lays out for this catch.
So
dives
good.
for it. His hands fucking barely under the ball.
The concentration on that play.
Excellent. Biggest problem was he picks it up, no one around him, starts running it back, gets tackled or whatever, refs blow the whistle. They then say incomplete pass. Now, my first problem, my first problem is if it was an incomplete pass, you blow the whistle immediately. Because as a player, you're taught to play through the end of the whistle because the play is not over until the ref blows the whistle. So if they truly thought it was an incomplete pass, they should have whistled right away.
I heard another argument from one of the rules analysts that said if you're leaning one way but not 100% sure, you should let the play go until a definitive pause and then call it the way you think. That way, if a review is given, you can get the call right.
If you're going to do that and let it play out, then don't call it anything. Just say we need to review to determine what the fuck happened, because if he calls it incomplete and it truly was an interception but it wasn't clear enough to overturn, that's where we get into the problem of like what carries more weight, the actual review or how it was called on the field. The whole clear and obvious, that's what they've been saying a lot this year. Is it clear and obvious? And at that point, if it's a close play like that, fucking don't call anything. Let it play out till someone gets tackled. Don't say a damn word, and then just go to the replay right away. You know who's got it figured out? College has it figured out. Watching college ball, they got this shit figured out. There's zero drama in college football for penalties and things. They got that shit nailed down. Reviews, there's no challenges. They just review it. If it's a suspect play, college is like, yeah, we'll take a look at it. No problem. We got it. Like, fucking just do that.
This review in particular did give me a memorable moment. One of my only two notes here on the game. LaFleur on national television can be seen saying, "This is bullshit," straight to the ref's face about having to use the flag on an obvious interception play. There's no second guessing what he's saying.
This is bullshit.
I mean, the only way it could have been more obvious is if he would have been mic'd and they just let it play on national TV.
You know how many times I remember seeing Mike McCarthy say, like, fuck this, or like, this is fucking bullshit? Fucking bullshit. That was one Mike McCarthy's was all the time. Yeah. And actually, my Facebook memories just popped up from last year when we lost that game to the Vikings on that Clay Matthews, like, roughing the passer that wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
And Mike McCarthy chasing the ref down the sidelines. I thought that man was going to, like, claw that referee's face off.
Since we're on reffing, my second note from the game. Did we get some more friendly reffing at Lambeau?
I don't think so. I think you're imagining things.
They called back that Broncos touchdown.
What was it? I don't remember.
So it's a pass. It's in the first half. It's a short pass. He catches it, and one of the receivers on the way.
Oh yeah,
it's kind of.
That was holding. That's the rule. It's the rule.
That was a really weak call.
It was blocking downfield, I believe, because he was blocking downfield from where the catch was, which you can't do that. That's against the rules. So, and at first people were like, "That's pretty weak. He was just in the way." But if you look and you watch that play again, he turns and squares up to the Packers defender. That's a fucking block.
Weak call. I'm just saying, that's 2 weeks in a row at home that I thought, this seems like some friendly reffing. Now, I'm not gonna say we wouldn't have won without it. We won by 11, so obviously They end up getting a field goal there, so it only ends up being a difference of 4 points. But
That speaks to the stinginess of the defense, though. You
true.
get a second chance and you hold them to a field goal. I want to talk about special teams because my second note here, after Rodgers King of the Free Play, is special teams miscues. And then later on, I have J.K. Scott is a beast.
He was blasting it 60,
He's
65
so-
plus yards.
So good. If he doesn't end up going to the Pro Bowl this year, I don't know what the fuck to say because that kid can punt a ball. And he's got that interesting kicking stance that he plants his left foot. He doesn't leave his foot. A lot of punters you'll see when they kick the ball, they jump up in the air a little bit.
Yeah.
He keeps that left foot solid on the ground and just fucking torques it 60 yards. My second special teams note was my boy Mason Crosby still solid. And then about 3 minutes later, I added, oops. But he is. He's still solid. He's still a great kicker. Missed that one. Overall, I have these couple things I wrote. The defense showed a little bit of vulnerability against the run. To paraphrase what Mike Pettin said in one of his press conferences a while ago, he's kind of looking at stopping the explosive pass plays because that's what will kill you in the fourth quarter. You can afford to give up some running. You can afford to let them run on you a little bit versus stopping that explosive pass game, that momentum shifter, So that was the only really vulnerability I saw in our defense was that Philip Lindsay was running on us for a little bit there. And then other than that, I wrote that we're just hanging on. Our offense is hanging on. We're not like going out and winning the game. We're like, okay, cool, we're up by a little bit and sputter. Which is completely different than the Mike McCarthy era, because I truly feel like we're up by a little bit and we're not jiving, which is why we're not scoring. Mike McCarthy era was we're up by 3 points, run every single play.
Yeah.
Be the least aggressive you can. So
yeah,
I thought offense has room to improve. Defense playing excellent, but can still improve. Special teams also excellent. And I feel good. The Eagles, they're almost a trap game. They're like another trap game. They just had that little bit of a heartbreaking loss to the Lions, and Carson Wentz is no joke.
Yeah,
but
you're talking about the week ahead.
Yeah, but tomorrow night. But their offensive line is trash. The Eagles' offensive line is trash, and I feel like we can feast on that. One note I want to say here is the NFC North is currently undefeated outside of the 2 divisional losses that had to happen because they play each other, right? Packers 3-0.
Yep.
Bears 2-1. Vikings 2-1. Lions 2-0-1. The NFC North is the toughest division in the NFL.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
NFC South is pretty close too.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're right. Coming from the cheese line, another quote. Ram Jam, thank you, ma'am. Niners and Packers both 3-0. The mid-November matchup is looking pretty juicy. It is indeed.
Who have the 49ers played this year? I know they beat the Steelers this week, and actually I posted that up as our poll question, and anybody who wants to message us or call us, text us, whatever, let us know. Majority of people picked the 3-0 49ers as the bigger surprise storyline than the 0-3 Steelers.
The 49ers beat the Buccaneers week 1.
Okay.
The Bengals week 2, and that was a fucking ass whooping. They beat them by 24.
So they've got one quality win. But also the same thing. We have the Eagles this week. We have the Cowboys week after. I would hope that both teams are unbeaten going into that game.
You're talking about the Dallas game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's highly likely.
I mean, we have a little bit of a gauntlet coming up here, I think.
Dallas is playing the Saints this week. So that'll be a little bit of a test for them to see what they can do.
I mean, I feel like we have a little bit of a gauntlet coming up here. Eagles tomorrow night.
They're not a pushover.
No, not at all. In Dallas, week after. Home against the Lions, home against the Raiders, away at the Chiefs, away at the Chargers. That's a tough stretch. Then you've got Panthers at home and a bye at week 11. So that's a pretty tough stretch to get to get to the bye week. I think.
Yeah, we have to beat the Eagles.
That's all you can do is focus on this week.
I mean, I just mean that of the teams that we have ahead, the Eagles needs to be a win because the ones after that are going to be real tests, and there's no guarantees. But this is a team that if we come out, we play our best, we can beat them. The other teams are teams that we have to come out and just be the better team that day.
It's going to be exciting. It's going to be the true test of, like, what does this team look like?
Yeah, I agree with that. Whoa, shit! It's the gossip section.
So Tejon already knocked out one of our stories for us. So that's good. I want you, Jeezy, do you have any tinfoil near you?
Reynolds rap alert. Reynolds rap alert.
Put your tinfoil conspiracy hats on.
Always ready with my tinfoil.
Did you hear about the story that one of the refs told a Dolphins linebacker to stay off of Tom Brady?
What?
So this is an article from, I guess, last week. This is USAtoday.com. Dolphins linebacker Raekwon McMillan told the Miami Herald that one of the officiating crew told him to stay off Tom Brady after a legal hit, completely legal. And if you look at the play, it said it was a very just a quarterback hit. He got the ball out, he got hit through the process of the play. Fine.
Here's a quote here from Barry Jackson from his Twitter at Florida Sports Buzz. Raekwon McMillan told me when he hit Brady on Sunday, a perfectly legit hit, the referee told him, "Stay off Tom." NFL still protecting those QBs amid several early season injuries to marquee ones. Which I think he means there's been a lot of quarterbacks getting hurt here.
So, but not only that, you've got that, and you've also got J.J. Watt, who is, excellent character guy, stand-up guy, says that he was getting held on a play, told the ref, and the ref said, "Yeah, I saw that." And then you've also got, during the Thursday night game between Jacksonville and the Titans, Brady apparently is at home watching on his couch, and he tweets out, "Too many penalties, just let us play." He says, "I'm turning off this game. I can't watch these ridiculous penalties anymore." That means a lot when Tom Brady's saying it. And this year, I don't know of any more touchdowns called back than I remember in my life than this year. And a lot of it to offensive pass interference, which I'm not sure if it's a point of emphasis or not, but it seems to me that the refs are, if you see it, throw it, we'll pick it up later.
Yeah, I mean, they've definitely been all over the field with these flags. I mean, there's just yellow laundry all over the field, and I'm not loving that. But
but what do you feel about the conspiracy, right? Do you, penalize guys more for taking hits on the star players?
I mean, there definitely is. I mean, there's been a high occurrence of quarterback injuries so far this year. It's just the facts. Big names are not playing in the league, and when that happens, that hurts the bottom line. When Drew Brees is not playing, I'm sure that there are less players watching in general, but especially in New Orleans.
But he smacked his thumb on some dude's helmet. We can't flag that.
No, it was a high five.
I'm sorry, high five.
He smacked his hand on somebody else's hand.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying? Like, Sam Darnold gets mono. Like you can't. Hey, girl that made out with him, 15 yards.
Well, and Nick Foles, collarbone, I believe.
I mean, it's part of the game, though. I mean, if you're going to be bending the rules for star players,
Ben Roethlisberger,
is it just star quarterbacks?
Messed up elbow, I think.
Is it star offensive linemen? Star running backs? Like, how far do you push this narrative?
I think when you're scared about revenue loss, that kind of thing, I think it's got to be quarterbacks because they're the ones. It's just not easy to put in a second string quarterback for most teams. I mean, it's a reality we have to face, but I think that's why that emphasis is happening.
I feel like there probably is something deeper going on than than that. I feel like the NFL is instructing these refs to do this.
Yeah. All right.
Did you watch the tuck rule video though?
No.
That was pretty funny. Charles Woodson asking Tom Brady about the tuck rule, the infamous play that led to the tuck rule in 2001. Charles Woodson sacks Tom Brady. It's called a fumble it's called an incomplete pass rather than a fumble. He asks Tom Brady, was it a fumble? And Tom Brady just like squirms in his chair like,
I don't know.
doesn't say
IDK, Chuck.
anything. Doesn't say anything. And Charles Woodson goes, well, that was awkward. I just wanted to mention that. But what the fuck, man? I feel like we could also rename this section and Antonio Brown section. We've got news of him farting in his doctor's face.
That's so gross.
Sexually assaulting a trainer. Getting cut by the Patriots because of the looming sexual assault.
That is crazy. You're talking about all the text message stuff?
Oh, no, that's a different thing, I think.
I don't know. I know
That's
that.
another thing. There were threatening text messages he sent out. The Patriots cut him.
Significantly, it's like sexual harassment and like serious kind of threats via text message. Like he hires this woman to paint something in his house, and he's like hitting on her nonstop. And then allegedly, while she's in there painting, he brings a different woman in there and has sex with her in front of her while she's painting. That's the alleged story I heard.
I don't know. I didn't know that. I heard that the trainer, he had forced himself on a trainer, and she had said, obviously it's not okay, declined to work with him. Then he wanted to have her back as a client. She took him back, and it happened again. So the Patriots cut him, which the hypocrisy in that is just stinging. Robert Kraft, looking at you. That makes me so mad. And then Antonio Brown goes and is giving his touchdown catch from New England, giving that away, right? He's going to give it to whatever Instagram follower has the best caption for it or some shit. I don't know. Then he says he's done playing the NFL. He's enrolled in college courses, including death and dying back at Central Michigan.
What's he studying?
Death and dying.
How to kill your career.
I mean, basically.
He's just taking a course on how to kill your career. His courses include shitting on all the people near you, death and dying.
And look at this. And then he starts going at Big Ben. He goes at Shannon Sharp. On Twitter, he says, four games for Big Ben. Crazy world. I'm done with it. He said, Shannon Sharp, the funny guy on TV, still after this. Kraft got caught in the parlor. AB speculations, fired, different strokes, different folks, clearly. System working effectively. These are all tweets from Antonio Brown. Then Shannon Sharp fires back.
Yeah, I saw this.
Clowntonio. Yeah. And now Antonio Brown is filing a grievance to get all this guaranteed money that he's owed from the Raiders and the Patriots. So far, he's gotten like $150K, and he's owed like $30 million. So,
well, I think he got all of his game day pays. I think it's more than that. I heard it was like closer to $400,000.
Oh, sorry. There's a $9 million signing bonus, and then the $1 million base salary. I saw a pretty good post. Like, I'm sorry, in a couple of months, Antonio Brown has managed to put his jersey on clearance racks for 3 different teams.
Yeah, I saw that. It's so good.
I don't know, man. And then I'm the asshole. Because we did a late draft for the Cheezy Fantasy League, and I'm the asshole who picks up Antonio Brown and thinks, you know what? Maybe he's going to do something here with Tom Brady in New England. Antonio's made me the asshole, wasting a spot on my fucking bench.
But as the commissioner of the Cheezy Podcast Fantasy League, you did get a gold star this week for a win. I did not get a gold star.
Be better. What do you want me to say? Just be better.
Only 4 people got gold stars. I was one of the 4 people who did not get one.
Also, Antonio Brown is continuing to be sued by people left and right. We talked about the chef. Now, do you remember there was an incident like 2 years ago where he was throwing furniture off of a balcony?
Yeah, I remember that.
Video comes out on that, and they're threatening him, or they're threatening to sue him like $35,000 He was accused of wrecking his $35,000 a month unit and not paying for the damages. The condo owners claim they found broken or defaced furnishings, including a leather couch, silk-covered sofas, and appliances. They also claim AB damaged the walls and flooring so badly they needed to repaint the place. He says that burglars entered his place without permission, stole $80K in cash and a 9mm while he was out of town. Who keeps $80K in their house, number one? But, like, what is happening? You can't make this shit up. You cannot write this storyline. Like, go back from that hit he took from Vontae's Perfect to now. You cannot write a crazier fucking storyline for one human being. Like, AB right now, as it stands today, no repercussions. We'll see what happens with all the proceedings of what comes to be with these allegations and being sued by various people and all that.
It depends. It depends on if we know the worst of it. If we know the worst of it right now.
But look at the snowball, and we've talked about this a couple episodes ago. Look at the snowball of his behaviors up until this point. It has been spiraling and getting worse and worse and riskier and more severe. He's just been, he's been coming off the rails at an alarmingly fast pace in the past year.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a good chance that there is more to come. Anyway, let's move on to the primetime picks.
Well, let's just move down the line. So, Packers, Eagles. I got Packers.
I've got Packers too. We're still playing at Lambeau. I can't bet against the Pack at home.
Neither can I. Sunday night, Cowboys, Saints. You pick that one first.
They're playing in New Orleans, but I think the Cowboys are going to get that win. I'm picking the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Saints, man. I think a re-energized Teddy Bridgewater takes it.
I think the Cowboys are hungry to stay 4-0, and they're going to go in there, they're going to get tested, and they're going to come out on top. It's
okay that you're wrong. This one, a battle of the dumpster fire on Monday night.
Not quite, but
the 0-3 Bengals or the 0-3 Steelers.
Honestly, I think I'm going to take the Bengals.
I am as well. I mean, that's not to say that the Bengals are good. I just think the Steelers are that bad right now.
It's now your turn to answer, and I'm going to pick from our own NFC North division.
Oh, don't you do this to me.
The Vikings versus the Bears at Soldier Field, Chicago.
Vikings. They're a more complete team all around.
Wow.
Dalvin Cook can't be stopped.
I have not yet seen him be stopped, but yeah, okay, fine.
The one I'm going to pick for you, I hesitate to ask this one, but these teams are both undefeated this year. Out of the same division. One of them is expected. One of them is a surprise right now. Patriots, Bills. Who do you think?
They're playing in Buffalo, but I just have to take the Patriots. I cannot pick the Bills over the Patriots. I just don't see it happening. I'm taking the Patriots. The Patriots are solid on every phase. It's got to be them. Sorry,
Fine.
Bills.
I'm hoping for the Bills, though. Or here, how about this? Giants-Redskins.
Giants-Redskins?
That's a rivalry game. Do you think Daniel Jones is a flash in the pan? Can he do it another week without Saquon? Or will the Redskins get the better of him?
I'm going to pick the Giants over the Redskins. I just categorically will not choose the Washington Redskins. Now, the Redskins, they have Case Keenum in there at quarterback. He's not really doing that well. The Bears just whooped them, beat them up. I think the Giants can go out there and win what I think will be a competitive game.
I tend to agree.
If it's the Daniel Jones era, I want to see him get this W.
I'm not going to say it's Daniel Jones era, but I think the Giants are less bad than the Redskins.
And there it is. Boom. You've been listening to Gettin Cheezy with Van and Jeezy.
I'm Van.
And I'm Jeezy.
Check us out on Facebook, Twitter, SoundCloud, YouTube, Spotify, Google Play Music, iTunes, which I guess is also Apple Podcasts, iHeartRadio, Spotify, if I didn't say it already, cheesypodcast.com. That's probably everything.
Did you say Google Play?
Google Play, if I didn't say it. Call and text the Cheese line, 9802-CHEESY with a Z. That's 980-224-3399. That's, I think, all I have.
Please follow us on Facebook and Twitter.
Follow us, especially on SoundCloud. You can be notified whenever we drop a new track. Subscribe, share to all your friends. We're starting to gain some modicum of popularity.
Ooh.
Good word, huh?
He's trying to say we're famous.
No, we're not. But thanks for listening, everybody.
Thanks so much. I love you.
Bye-bye now.